Welcome back to another episode of Confessions of an Indie Author. It's May 18th. Um, let's see, what did I do? I promised last week, I said I needed to strap myself to a chair and make myself do some editing. I did do some editing. I didn't edit anything new that was coming out. I know I need to start editing the third installment of the Runemaster saga. I need to start editing Glory. But I'm trying to get through something I'm currently working on, and then I'll start working on that. For those of you who don't know, I do use Pro Writing Aid to assist in all of my editing. I've paid anywhere from $2,000 to $0 to edit my books, and there's mistakes in all of them. So I apologize. I know you readers, if you find them, let me know. It's just without having traditional publishing and having a team of editors go through that work with fresh eyes multiple times, there's just going to be a level of mistakes in there. I do my best to keep it perfect, but it doesn't always work out that way. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to do, kind of as a New Year's resolution, we're now in May, so I'm a little bit late, but better late than never, I suppose, is to review some of my older work. It's been some time since I have published it, and therefore it's almost like looking at it with fresh eyes, and so I find more things. So I decided to start with the very first book I wrote, which is Flames of Valor, which was published in 2016. So going back, this is book one of my Path of Ascension trilogy that is completed, but I am going back through. I'm not really changing anything in the story. I'm just doing a double check of the editing. One thing that I noticed, and kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about, was just kind of how you evolve as a writer. I mean, if I read this, or I am reading this that I wrote in 2016 compared to something that I wrote, let's say, recently, like a Realm of Thrall or Runemaster Saga, my writing has improved exponentially. You almost wouldn't realize that it's the same author that wrote this, that wrote that. Not that this is bad. This is a good story. It's just that I learned a lot through the process, and I think you'll notice the practice makes perfect with anything. And so the more that you practice your writing craft, the more sophisticated your writing will get. And you'll notice that. And not just with that, it's the skill involved. It's your whole process. I do have a process that I use when I write. I know a lot of people are just pantsers and they just sit down and just start writing. I do take time. I usually take a month to plan. I usually take a month to outline. And then I do set writing goals to get from point A to point B, finish my rough draft. And then from then on, I have also editing schedules. Now, with the things that have happened in my family over the last couple years, and surprisingly, it's not COVID that affected me. It's other things that happen. I have kind of gotten off of keeping myself on a strict schedule, which makes me have to strap myself to the chair and do the editing to kind of catch myself up. And I do have some writing that I need to sit down and do, and hopefully I'll be able to do that here as I get caught up on some other things. But yeah, so I'm going back and editing old work and still moving forward on current projects as well, just to make this better. The other thing I'm kind of considering doing is, this is a 6x9 book, so it's a little bit bigger. Most of my other books are the 5x8. So I'm considering changing the size of this book to the 5x8, but since I'm making drastic changes to it, as in the trim size, that means I have to have a new ISBN number. So I can't just simply, insert new interior and change things. It's going to be a completely different volume. It's going to look a little bit different. I'd kind of like to go through and maybe make these covers a little, not that they're not consistent, but just kind of bring some elements through to all three of them, just to give them a more polished look. So I might work on those things, but probably what I'll do is I will re-edit all 3 books, Flames of Valor, Fire Forge, and Inferno Rising. I will revamp all 3, and then I will probably decide whether or not I'm going to change the trim size or make any adjustments to covers, and probably republish that way, pull the old stuff down, put the new stuff out. I have to consider my inventory. If I have any leftovers of the old trim size, those can become, giveaways and mystery boxes, and put together mystery boxes and things at shows. Or I can just, have a giveaway, and give away some of the old formats. So the other thing, non-writing related, is, I've been working around the house. I've said, storage is an issue. I'm moving some storage out into the garage. I kind of rearranged some storage here. I really don't want to move anything to the basement because then every time I have a show, I have to drag everything back up. Same thing with the garage. There are steps down into the garage to load the car. So if I can keep some of the bulkier items like tables and grid wall and things in the garage, I don't have to lug them through the house and down the stairs. So I'm trying to be more effective that way. But with that being said, I kind of did an entire spring cleaning, at least of our main level here, at the house, and I'm trying to purge things I don't need. I look at it, have I used it in the last couple of years? No. Okay, get rid of it. Whether it be donation, if it's not donation quality, then it just, goes in the trash, or if somebody else in the family is interested in, old clothes or whatever, so on and so forth. But that's one of the things. I kind of cleaned things that I don't normally clean whenever I do a cycle through the house. So I spent some extra time doing that this weekend. So I didn't get as much writing and editing done, but it was much needed. I mean, despite being an author, I still have responsibilities to my family and as a homeowner too, to keep things kind of up to date and whatnot. I've also been focused on making a lot of energy efficient updates to the house. With the price of gas, price of food, all of these things kind of just creeping up. We recently found out that electricity and energy is going to cost more over the summertime. And so I'm trying to make adjustments. I replaced all of my curtains to make sure I have good thermal curtains to kind of keep the sun out, so the air conditioner doesn't have to work quite so hard. Having them come out to clean the air conditioner, make sure that it's running on its full capacity, that it's not being hindered in any way and causing me to use additional electricity. I'm putting in a garden. I'm not going to grow a lot. I don't exactly have a green thumb, but I'm going to try it again just because, if I can substitute some of our staples, then, maybe I can save on my grocery bill. I did get a clothesline, one that will go inside in the laundry room, one will go outside. Hopefully I won't have to use my dryer, which runs on natural gas, so I won't be using that as much. I installed water filtration underneath our sink. We used to get bottled water. So, it was kind of it cost money. It was wasteful. I was constantly throwing away all of these bottles. So now I'm not doing that anymore. So we have filtered water. And I don't have to argue with anybody about who didn't fill the Brita pitcher. I thought about doing that, and that was a bad idea. So I just did the under sink water filtration, installed it myself, super easy, saving money. And, along the same lines of laundry, switch into cold water tides, so I'm not using so much hot water. So my water heater, again, is natural gas. So just trying to curb some of those things. So as you can see, like being an indie author, I'm not 100%, writer. I do other things. I have other responsibilities. And so I do find that it's kind of like this juggling situation between, okay, I still have to do these things, but I want to do these things. And I'm constantly moving, constantly busy. You can ask my business partner, Trevor, and his wife, Julie. They are convinced that I have a clone or several clones, or that I don't sleep at all. Maybe I'm a vampire. They're not sure. But I usually don't waste much time. I'm constantly doing something. I'm constantly working on something. And I think, I've published almost 12 books in, since 2016. So that's multiples per year. So I think that focus and determination and that drive really propels me forward. And so knowing that I have all of these other things that I'm juggling besides writing, I know a lot of people come to me at events, I just can't find, and they say, I just can't find time for this. Well, you can if you really want to, but you have to really want it. So you need to decide whether or not you want to be just a hobby writer, which is fine, or if you want to be a serious author, then you really have to commit to it. And you have to understand that there's going to be less time for you to do some of those fun things, going to a movie, binging a TV show, playing video games, any of those things. You're going to have to sacrifice some of those things in order to, number one, write, but also keep that family work balance. Most of us indie authors still have a 9-to-5 job. I do. I do these videos on my lunch break. I do writing on my lunch break. I come in early before work and I work on things on the weekends, after work, just wherever I can fit it in. So it depends on how bad you want it. You need to carve out time for it. And I've had people who have actually sat down and said, okay, what am I actually spending my time on during the day or during the week? And I think you'll find that there are little areas in your schedule that you could utilize that are not being utilized. But you have to make a commitment to yourself, and that's hard to hold yourself accountable. But if you can get yourself started in that habit, and it doesn't have to, you don't have to write every day. People tell you you have to write every day. I don't write every day. You fit it in when you can fit it in, and you get it done. I usually look at weekly goals. So if I have a busy day at work and I don't have time to take a lunch and I don't get anything done, then, maybe there's another day where things are very light or I wake up early and I can get those things done. So it's more about setting goals that are attainable for you, and you have to hold yourself to it. And that takes an incredible amount of self-discipline. So if you want to know anything else about how I schedule my work time, I'd be more than happy to share that with you. So maybe we'll go over that next time. Thanks. Bye.